This is like the pattern that I'm having an issue with. Is it feels like I want you to talk to me about these things. I want you to tell me about it. I want to be able to have a conversation with you about it. But it feels like I'm just not allowed to because you don't tell me, but you do go tell a bunch of other people publicly so that I know you feel this way. I'm just not able to talk to you about it. I'm not able to have a conversation with you, and I'm never able to either defend myself or apologize or anything. I'm just not capable because everybody that I try to talk to about these things will not have the conversation with me, but they will have it with everyone else. What is the more blunt statement with the nuance that actually accurately describes what it is you meant to?
And Svlphur is saying that blunt statement with the nuance is the DM
I really would
that
like
she sent
her to. Yes, but that we're talking about public. Obviously, what I said in public is different than the conversation that her and I had in DMs, and she wanted me to bluntly say in public that it was different. I am asking for the same courtesy that if she's saying, okay, what I said in chat doesn't accurately describe things, I am asking for the same courtesy. Yes.
All right, I'll drag up the logs then real quick.
I mean, all of this is kind of whatever, right?
Well, no, it's not, because this is literally what it is that my issue was. This is the whole, yes. I think we're going to talk to Rezzy and Svlphur in a minute, maybe some other people.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Hey.
You guys hear me okay?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, Svlphur, check with Tom.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
You're just a little quiet on my end. I'll turn you up real quick.
That's just Svlphur, I think. So.
I think that's just my mic. Everyone, unfortunately, tells me that.
Okay. I think it's good.
Okay. So
Tom, I didn't listen past like what I was in chat for, so I'm.
Yeah, I understand. So at 1:10:00 in this VOD is when Svlphur alleges that you said that Svlphur had been saying that Queeman lied for 1 week, and Svlphur is saying that that's incorrect. Am I misstating this, Svlphur?
I'm sorry. State that again, real quick.
Around 1:10 in your VOD called "Talking About Authoritative Labels." Stardust versus Dick Sebastian, Nick Rahita debate. Around 1:10, at one point, shortly after that, you say that Svlphur, for a week previous to all this stuff happening, said that Queeman lies, thus you don't trust him. And then she reneged on that to say later that you should trust this thing on that. I believe that's the claim that you made yesterday.
So normally, like, okay, Queeman makes a montage of me. He's done it 1,000 times. Doesn't mean anything. No reason to ever respond to it. The reason I did that time was because it was really weird. All of a sudden, people who literally, like a person, I think it was Svlphur, who had literally like a week before he came out with that, was telling me like, yeah, I know Queeman lies. I know he's lying about you. I know he does a bunch of out of context stuff about you. Everybody knows that. It's obvious. When this came out, even she was like, it's obvious Tom is claiming authority here. I was like, what? You've told me you know he does this. I don't understand. So yeah, so now even like people who were telling me, yes, I know he cuts everything out of context, said, yes, this does look like Tom's claiming authority here. Question marks. I don't know why. Svlphur, I don't know why you're doing question marks. It wasn't you. Unless I'm totally mixing you up with somebody else, I could have sworn. I didn't say Queeman lies. Okay. All right. If you want to say you don't say that, then fine. The reason I asked you to repeat it and the part that I'm confused on is where you say a week previous. I don't know about that part. I don't know.
You had said basically that this hyper cobbling of like a bunch of times where you refer to yourself with what people believe to be you saying that you have some credential or some authority from a linguist, which you also dispute, which is
Tom
fine.
is loud, apparently, according to the kid who's in chat.
Okay,
yeah. I mean, I can just, I think...
yeah, go ahead.
I don't think the week previous part is actually true, because it had nothing to do with a week previous or anything like that.
Yeah, well, and we did speak, obviously after, when you had reached out, because yeah, I would not characterize, I think very specifically I said, I've never said those words, like lies, implies all sorts of things. The idea that maybe there was a fucking whatever the fuck his name is, gistical, kind of
I believe the
period of
preferred
time
term
that,
is
like,
end stock
I
now,
don't
just to be clear.
yeah, we've
End stock.
kind of already sorted part of that, but obviously, I don't characterize him that way. I do think that it's obviously at this point in time that Gisticle lied, or misrepresented himself, and what he was saying about you, about the sex pest stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's really kind of a minor issue, I guess. I
Well,
don't know at
so
this point.
to me, it's not really, because as you just said, like, you wouldn't characterize it that way. But in the conversation that we had, as you said, we did DM about this over the last couple of days, and it seemed as though you were saying, "Oh, okay, like I could kind of understand how you like got that from what I was saying." I could I may have said that, but I wouldn't say that he was like ever that you said. I would never say that Queeman was like pathological, and that saying liar is pathological.
Yeah. Sure, pathology would be like a kind of ongoing pattern to a degree that like is would necessitate
correct.
require
This
like
is
a
what
label, right? Medical
this is
label.
what you said.
That's not
to
what
me,
I
yes?
said. No, it's not
in
what I said.
in DMs. I'm saying in DMs. So you're saying this is not what you were saying to me in DMs.
Like in the last couple of days?
Yes, in the last couple of days, when I told you why I said
I don't think
that
I
and
said
what
pathology,
I took it from.
period. But yeah,
You literally say pathology. You say
me
you
just pull
said
it up.
I could understand how you would have gotten that, but I wouldn't call him a liar, because I wouldn't call it a pathology, or I wouldn't say that he is I wouldn't say that Queeman is
It's easier if we pull it
pathological.
up. Give me one sec. No, because my issue is the characterization of Queeman as a liar at all. Sorry, I'm just scrolling here. Okay. Oh my god. Okay.
So just to clarify, what we're clarifying right now is that
I'm reading it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to get
What
to
you
the
said
point.
is that, like, I want to make sure we're clarifying what it is we're disagreeing on as you're reading this. Is that I'm saying you said you were not calling him a liar because you didn't believe there was a pathology, and you're saying you didn't say that.
I'm just trying to get to which of the DMs specifically back and forth, because we were paragraph posting.
Yes, I'm just trying to clarify the claim that you are saying.
Which message is it? Because I'm just trying to pull it up without going through each. Okay. And you say that
You said,
like,
with no
impossible,
context, the sex pest incident, that there is a pathology, with the other being a single event or issue, a liar versus he lied here, if that's what I said at the time. So you did say the word pathology.
Okay, sure. Yes, I see the message now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Would it be too hard for me to ask if somebody could present me with the message in question so I can see this?
I mean, I didn't mean to, like, I didn't want to leak everything.
If it's not a major point, it's just like visually I'm trying to figure out what the message is. I'm sure you both see it. I just completely lost from this one specific part about what the argument is about this. Is it just the use of the term pathologize?
I guess I'm not understanding why that was even disagreed with.
No, because I think my specific words is that I would characterize Gistock as a liar. And I don't feel that way about Queeman.
Correct.
Your issue.
That is what I said.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I'm not understanding why we're disagreeing on this. You did just read what I said. You said, and now I don't feel like there's any reason to go into it more. That was my claim.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, in Rezzi's chat, you said Tom lied about me, Beckett, and Sick. In this conversation, you don't seem to be telling me that I lied about you, but again, this conversation is about the fact that what we communicate in DMs seems to be very different than what you go and do publicly afterwards with other
What?
people in other chats
Oh,
in a
goodness.
dog file. And so in this case, again, you are not saying anything about me lying and about me misrepresenting you or anything. And then
got
you
one
go
point
to
in.
Rezzi's chat. Yes,
Yeah,
this is what
because
we're talking. This is
my
what I wanted to
my
talk about.
streamer. Yeah, this is like my streamer, right? So I'm hanging out in stream. Yeah.
Yes. So again, my issue is that what we're talking about in these DMs is the fact that in DMs you are saying one thing to me and then you are going somewhere else publicly and saying
Okay.
something different than what it is you're communicating to me. And after this conversation where we talk about this, you literally go and do it again and go into Rezzi's chat and say that Tom's
Okay.
lying.
Excuse me.
All right.
One second. Can
Hold
I
up.
clarify something? No, sorry,
Yes.
Svlphur. I'm taking
Yeah,
this.
go ahead.
I want to clarify something that was said earlier. The way that was meant to sound, I think that you guys came to agreement that when you, Tom, when you said you talked on stream, you were saying that Svlphur admitted that J-Stock lies, not Queeman, because I'm kind of looking at the transcript. It does look different on the transcript.
No, that is not.
And it
that
does
is not
seem
what I
that
was
you
saying. I
are
was saying
implying
Queeman.
that Queeman is lying
Yes,
in the transcript.
Yes, I was saying that she said this about Queeman, and then
Okay.
in the DMs we're talking.
And
I
that
go
was
over
my
the
issue.
specific, and I go over the specific instances, and
Mhm.
I
No,
say
you
like,
gave
hey,
me a potential and never provided me like the you said you might have had like a recording and I didn't push for that. I said
that
if that's what
was different. That was a different claim. That was a different claim.
What?
That had nothing. Yes, that had
Okay.
nothing to do with you talking about Queeman. This was. I said I gave two instances. I gave one where you and I were like working on a router, and you were very helpful and very sweet, and spent hours with me helping me fix my router, and we talked about it there. And then there was another call that I don't want to say publicly what it was that you were telling me, but that in that other call about two people, we talked about this again and again. That was the impression that I got from both of these, is that you were saying this about both.
Let's not be like cryptic, right? The other call was about concerns that there was some weird stuff maybe happening
Well,
with
it's not
Mantis,
cryptic, it's just not
and
related. But okay,
Sure.
yeah, if you want to do it.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
I was just okay. Yeah.
No,
So anyway,
like it's yeah.
we agree that that's not related and that we don't need to get
Well, you
into
just brought
that.
it up.
If you, yes, I
second
did,
call.
to say what it was, what call we were on,
Sure.
to say that I did reference two calls. You're saying that I referenced the call that I had a recording of, but I didn't. Not for the stuff
Okay,
about Queeman.
It's fine. Either way, like in terms of the example, I think that you had said that it was during that call that I said this, and I said I literally don't remember saying that about Queeman at all. And you
Mhm.
said it's impossible essentially for me to have two positions on like looking at what is to you and functionally it ends up being like two people saying sex pest to you, and your idea is that I have to think the same thing, the same intention, about both people, and I just don't.
I wasn't saying that it's yes, I was saying that that's how I took it as at the time, is that because I was talking about both
Sure.
people saying the same thing, and that it seemed as though we were talking about them lying. You're saying, well, you didn't think of Queeman as a liar, and that's what he
Yeah.
was doing, so that's fine. I'm telling you that that was communicated to me, and in DMs, it seems as though your understanding of that, that thought process, and you're saying, if this is what happened, that's not what I meant, and I'm like, okay, like to me, they're
Yeah.
saying the same exact thing, but if that's not how you think of Queeman, fine. Like that's just how I took it, but then you go to Rezzi's chat and say that I lied about you, and again, this seems very different
Well, I
from what
said
it was
lied
that we
or
were communicating.
mischaracterized, right? Yeah.
What, in my chat?
Yes, in your chat, and
Okay.
yeah,
which was it, YouTube chat or
YouTube.
yeah, it was in
okay.
YouTube chat. Yes.
All right, I'll drag up the logs then real quick.
I mean, all of this is kind of whatever, right?
Well, no, it's not, because this is literally what it
Okay.
is
No,
that
this
my
is
issue was.
specifics
This
that
is the
Tom has
whole,
an issue
yes,
with, so.
this, yes,
Okay.
and it seems like, again, when we're talking about this in DMs, is that like, there are times where I'm asking you to like be honest with me and tell me what issues are,
Yeah.
and like help me work through this and help me like think my way through this. And you did give me like broad generalities, and in the call, yes,
No,
I'm repeating over
okay.
and over saying, please, like, Svlphur, I don't want you to like sugarcoat this. Like, I'm asking you to like give it to me straight here, and just like actually have like a like say these things bluntly. And I didn't feel like you actually did. And I'm saying that, yes, like after this, it felt like you were very blunt in the way that you described it to other people and in other chats and on other streams. And it felt like the same way here, where there's not, in these DMs, I don't think anybody would get from this that you think that I am like purposefully mischaracterizing you or lying about this stuff or anything like that. But it seems like, yes, you're very blunt about that in another chat somewhere else again.
Said it's either a lie, because here's the thing, right? I'm not a mind reader. Uh, it doesn't matter to me. At the end of the day, what happened was something that was not true, that had not taken place or was said in that way, whatever. I take issue with that. That characterization, that presentation, however you want to communicate it. So yeah, but there's also the reality
But you're saying that
that
in
there's a
his chat,
concern
not
that
to me. That's my issue. So I
I
understand that's
did.
your issue, but you didn't tell me that.
Yeah,
You
right, but
told
I
me,
did.
if I said this, this is what I meant, seeming to be like understanding of
No,
like,
I
okay,
said
that's like,
I
that
said
is what you
if
said.
you're saying that I said it, right? Yeah.
Uh,
If you're saying to me that I said this, I don't have, um, I don't have like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't have the recollection, or we don't have a video, we don't have audio. Like you're telling me
yes,
that I said that, and I'm
yes,
saying I don't remember that at all. So,
correct. Correct.
yeah.
That is what you said in DMs. Yes, that is how you're portraying it in
Yes,
DMs.
and so we're going back in the past to, like, 2 days ago, watching the VOD tonight, that's when yeah, like, that to me, that was when the lie happened, I guess, or the mischaracterization at that time. I I
Correct.
understand what
I
you're
don't feel
saying
like
in
you're
terms
listening.
of the no,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
okay.
Go
No,
ahead.
no,
You
if you
might be
wanna
addressing it
clarify.
now, so just go ahead.
Mm, no, just, like, in terms of, um, whether at this point we wanna settle it as, like, a difference of opinion of the events, what have you. My wording was too heavy, too strong. I generally try to include what I mean, in parentheses afterwards, or, wherever it ends up, but, um, yeah, it wasn't my intention to lie about you, I guess, in return, right?
I don't
But
think it's your intention either. I honestly, I think that
yeah,
lots of times, I think that you, um, this is, and I'm just telling you, just my perception of it is, I don't think you're malicious in this, but I also, it seems as though, because I can probably think of like 3 or 4 different examples, even on stream, where like we're talking about something and I have to keep saying like, Svlphur, please, like, directly engage with what I'm saying. Like, you're kind of like giving me like very, like cushy versions of this stuff. I want like a direct version of this. And I think that you do want to be nice. You want to be sweet, and you want people to like you, and you don't want to hurt people's feelings. And so in a direct interaction, you are probably like softening the blow a little bit more than what it is you actually want to say. And then when you're not in a direct engagement with that person, you are being a lot more direct, because even here, like, while we're talking now, this is again a lot more cushiony than what it was you were saying in chat when we're not having a direct engagement. And it just seems, yes, this is like
sure.
the pattern that I'm having an issue with. Is it feels like I want you to talk to me about these things. I want you to tell me about it. I want to be able to have a conversation with you about it. But it feels like I'm just not allowed to, because you don't tell me, but you do go tell a bunch of other people publicly so that I know you feel this way. I'm just not able to talk to you about it. I'm not able to have a conversation with you, and I'm never able to either defend myself or apologize or anything. I'm just not capable, because everybody that I try to talk to about these things will not have the conversation with me, but they will have it with everyone else.
No, like so in terms of, maybe it's the difference of text to like I'm talking. Like my speech is a lot different than the way that I write to begin with, but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't mean to come off like fucking, you know, like
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
trying
saying I
to
don't
like
think it's
be
malicious. I
duplicitous.
don't
Yeah.
think you do it on purpose. So I'm not
Yeah.
accusing you of anything like that. I just, yes, this is my issue, is that
Yeah.
I do want to have these conversations with you, but it seems like, yes, even in the conversation where I'm trying to address the fact that this is what keeps happening, it seems to happen again after that, where what is said there is very sugar-coated versus what is said in public with other people in other streams where it's time to dogpile Tom again.
And I know you're probably feeling like the dog pile is still like ongoing or is starting up again, but um no, like I'm a total schizo in Rezzi's chat. Like my he's literally my comfort streamer person to like just hang out. Um I get to be an asshole a little bit sometimes in Rezzi's chat, but no, like it's I don't know. I'm not trying to
But does that mean that I just don't take
yeah.
anything you say seriously when you're in somebody's chat, but then I should take seriously what's in DMs? Because to me, I'm doing the opposite. I'm looking at what you're saying in DMs as the sugar-coated
Well,
version, and then what you're saying in people's chats as the real version that you just won't say to me.
no, because I think in writing, like I don't know, my like looking at some of these messages, I'm saying like I'm not interested in being persuaded to like coming around. Like I don't know, litigating DMs on a stream seems just like kind of odd to me to begin with. But
I
think
agree,
if you want
but
to
it
please,
also seems
could.
odd that somebody goes and repeats stuff publicly that seems to mischaracterize what happened. And it seems, yes, it seems
well,
weird that somebody says one thing to me in DMs and another thing
yeah,
publicly over and over. That it just keeps
I
happening. That
guess
is weird.
in this sense that I'm not quite understanding. So if the idea is that I don't know, is the disconnect when I'm only in writing like privately and then it's a public presentation of when I'm like hanging out in Rezzi's chat? Like I don't I guess I'm not seeing where that
You're saying you're not
disconnect is because
understanding
I
the criticism, right? That's what you're saying?
yeah, you're my interpretation is that you're saying that behind closed doors I'm being really one way. Um and like kind of the way that I'm taking it at least is that because I'm not seeing the polar opposite message here. I'm seeing the same
I
kind of
didn't say the
sentiment.
polar opposite. I said one
Sure.
is very sugar-coated and one is way more blunt, where like the conversation is about the fact that I'm like asking you to be blunt with me, and like that this keeps happening, where I do ask you to be blunt with me and I do ask you to be straightforward with me, and then you're not, and then but you are somewhere else, and that is what we're talking about in those DMs, is that you do keep doing this and then you literally turn around and do it
DMs are
again.
well, the DMs are a lot about Beckett. Realistically, half going back and forth. Like um, you know, I don't want to litigate other people's
I don't think it was a lot
issues,
about
but
Beckett. I think the last couple were, but it was only talking about like a pattern of behavior from a group of people. And you seemed to like, you said that you didn't think Beckett really covered the Tom tent. And so I was just trying to show you
yeah.
that
And then you
not
sent
only did he
yeah.
cover it, but also where I'm telling you that he said one thing to me and then said something very different publicly to somebody else on a podcast is, again, following the pattern of behavior where they're just doing something very different.
Well, and I again litigating anything to, like Beckett. I don't know if he's actually around today. Whatever, but um, the now recording podcast that you sent specifically that's talking you know it's like a lore stream, right? Like I listened to all of that because your sentiment from that was that he, like, made all these statements about Mantis, and like he was, you know, like you felt extremely strongly about how he behaved on that. And I was like listening to it um earlier today and was like, I just don't like, I don't know, man. I don't hear the issue, I guess. Maybe that's
Well, if you're
I
going
don't
to
know.
characterize it as he said a bunch of things about Mantis, then if that's what you got from that, then sure, I could understand why
Well,
you don't
he
understand
said,
the issue. But what I
sure.
said was there were a couple of things. The reason I sent you that podcast specifically is because we were talking about whether or not I was making claims to authority, and the fact that and again, like there's a lot of people who are in my chat consistently that were part of my community that were
Sure.
all here while I was saying things and while I was doing things, and then all of a sudden they all of a sudden had brand new issues with things that they had been there for a very long time. And so this was me showing Beckett was he came and had a conversation with me and asked me about like claims to authority and linguistics and all of that, right? And I send you the full conversation that we had and say, like, you can see he's not like pressing me on this, he's not disagreeing with me on this, he's not telling me I'm wrong about this or anything like that, and that he's not
He
saying I think
he
you're wrong.
does.
That doesn't when
Well, he doesn't say, I guess, like, maybe not in the, "You're wrong, Tom, and this is why." Like, he does say it 'cause you go back and forth,
about a different issue.
for
What we were talking about was different. His claim was that nobody should ever really talk about their professions at all on the internet because he thinks like, and he used his own profession as an example to say, I don't ever even mention this because I'm afraid that people might take it that way. And so I just don't even talk about it at all. That is what we were talking about, was whether or not you can even mention it when just talking about your own life. But that is not him disagreeing with me on whether or not I did make claims to authority. That is a very different conversation that we moved on to after he did, yes, seemingly agree with everything that I was saying.
No, no. Um, I didn't hear that, and I think it might just be that, like, for people that are less blunt, maybe, so let me let me try it out a little bit, but, like, um I hear Beckett at numerous points in that conversation say like, "Well, no, this is my issue. This is kind of, I wouldn't do it that way." These are, I guess, more passive, like,
Yes, but those were different. We were on a different
directing.
topic
Sure.
when we were talking about that, Svlphur. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying
yeah.
is that
No, I
we
listened.
the
That's like 4
conversation
hours
about
ago.
me
Yeah.
ended where he says, do you he says like this is what it seemed like on that stream. And I explain, I said, well, if they're denying these things and I just bring it up to refute it, then that's different than me claiming authority. And he's like, oh yeah, okay. And you don't claim yourself to be some sort of expert or authority in general, do you? And I was like, no, not at all. And then I said, but like there are like different levels of what an authority is. And I do think that it's okay to mention your like experiences sometimes. And we go into a conversation about that, whether or not it's okay to talk about your experiences. But there, we were not talking
As it
about whether
pertains
or not I
to
did talk,
well,
not whether or not I
yeah.
did claim to be an authority.
No, no, because I don't know if that was, again, so I wasn't there for the timeline of all of those events. I don't know all of it. Maybe Rezzy can help, and kinda, like, pull, some of this conversation up, all of it. I don't know. Maybe
Do you want
maybe I
to?
need help. Yeah.
Do you want to bring up the DMs in argument? Like
No,
I don't
because we're
know
not
if
even
Tom's
really
okay with
talking
that.
about the DMs right now.
Well, I mean, we are
We're
because like I don't know
We're
about the
talking about
characterization,
what we
right?
disagreed about in the DMs, but her and I are not disagreeing on what happened in DMs. We're talking about
Okay,
what happened on a stream.
okay.
well,
So
and I wasn't there for
can
the
I?
stream. I received the
Okay,
stream
fine.
afterwards.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, but
So
you are
Tom,
disagreeing with me on this and telling me that I'm wrong and that like this is the claim that I'm making. And so I'm saying that yes, like here we have a more broad conversation about claims to authority and about expertise and about professions, but it is not specific to me doing this anymore. We settled that. towards the beginning when he asked me about it. And then he just said, you don't do this, do you? And I said, no, not at all. But then we did have a more broad conversation about it. If he thought I was doing that, he wouldn't have said, you don't do this, do you, Tom? I don't think you do this. He wouldn't have said that, but he did. He said that. And then, yes, we have a more broad conversation about what we think is ethical and what we think is okay. And then he starts to give his personal preferences for these things, but not saying, I specifically did something unethical. And that, like, that's what I'm trying to communicate here, is that in that conversation, he is not saying, I specifically did something unethical. We are having a broad conversation about what is or is not ethical when it comes to these sorts of claims. But then on the podcast, he does say that, oh, Tom knows I have issues with the way that he talks about this stuff. That there's no way you could get that from that conversation, because that's not what we were talking about. We weren't talking about me.
Well, those conversations are like 10 months apart, right?
Yeah.
To begin with. Yeah. So significant period of time, but from everything that I've understood, again, I'm just like, again, it's like,
what is the point of
if
bringing
Becca
up
was
the
here, it
10
would be
months
awesome,
apart?
right?
Like, is it that he may have like a blurry memory on it, or and you don't have to keep saying if Beckett was here, because you are the one who disagreed with me on it. I'm not disagreeing with Beckett on any of this right now. I'm disagreeing with the way that you're characterizing this and the way that you're talking about it. If Beckett came here, I would need him to be quiet, because I want to talk with you about this.
Well, yeah, Beckett is currently, I don't intend to bring, if anybody else, Tom, I know you said you want to hash it out with people. If other people want to join, that's fine. I don't want you to
I'm happy to talk to
dogpiled.
people. I do want to do it. Yes, one at a time.
Yeah,
Please,
I have my own
me,
questions,
please.
but I'm going to let anybody else who wants to ask questions, they can go first. And then I have like just some specific things that you said during that stream that I think I just want to go down the threads a little bit with. So,
okay.
But yeah, generally speaking, I don't. What's up?
I lost my glasses. If I could just take a second, because I'm having trouble.
Yeah,
take
a second.
So just
Svlphur,
give me
what's
1
up?
second, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're fine. No problem.
Yeah, you're good.
Svlphur, what's up?
No. Yeah, I guess maybe I don't know how to communicate my disagreement more specifically. I don't. Yeah.
What is your disagreement?
My disagreement is in the characterization. I mean, I'd love for your input of interactions of basically the, going back and forth, right? The messages, but
the characterization of the DMs themselves.
The way I feel that I am presenting is that, like, I'm saying, no, I don't agree with that. I'm going point by point at different spots.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. Do I? I don't know I don't know how to communicate disagreement, I guess, in a.
Well, I mean, I think you have to go through it point by point. I mean, I'm looking at these DMs. I think you have a point by point thing that you probably should start from the beginning. I mean, because I do see that you're both missing each other, right? And that's the thing. You have the points, right, to begin with. And I think that might actually be a good format to go through the conversation. Tom, I don't know how much of that you heard.
I didn't hear any of it.
Okay. So Svlphur appears to have a problem with your characterization of the DMs that you two have had. That is what I've elucidated. And she did send me the characterized list of like issues and shit, right? And I was wondering if we could go through that list part by part. Because she took specific issues. Yeah.
I'm happy to go over some of these things. The only thing that I asked to come on to disagree with was the way that she was characterizing the part about Queeman and Sick and Rezzy, where she's like saying that I lied.
You didn't mention me, so you don't even need to.
Or sorry, not Rezzy. I didn't mean to say Rezzy. Sorry, Beckett and Sick.
No, you're okay. You can have problems with me. That's fine. But regardless, this one, I'm out of it, dude. But
yes, again, my issue is with how this is like changing from one place to another. So if you want to go through there and you think, there
I think
is the claim. Real quick, I'm trying to clarify. So if we're saying that in there, she is telling me that she thinks I lied, and that's that's what she believes is in there, then I'm happy to go through that. But I would like to know what the claims are first that makes
so
us
what
need
I'll
to go
do
through this.
is so what I want to say is I think that Svlphur believes you've mischaracterized her, or however that is. That's how she perceives this whole thing.
In what way?
And your belief is that Svlphur
Wait,
acts
in what
one
way?
way in private.
Wait. In what way? I need like what is the claim? How did I mischaracterize?
Svlphur's claim is that you are mischaracterizing how she speaks in DMs.
Right, but that again, I need a claim for that. What is the real thing that was said in DMs? What is it I said that she's saying in chat that I lied, and that that she, yes, it's a much more blunt statement of what this is, whereas in DMs it's sugar coated. That's the mischaracterization.
Much more than the 200 characters or whatever the fuck it is on YouTube that I'm given to begin with, right? But I don't see the there's not flowery language, it's not anything, it's like I'm communicating disagreement, not sure like where
that's
the line
different than
comment was
you
coming
thinking
from
that I
originally.
lied
Sure.
or mischaracterized these things. I disagree with you
Yes.
on how you go from one place to another, but I've been very clear that I don't think there's some sort of malicious intent or that you're doing this on purpose or anything. But that does seem to be like the issue here is that I've been clear. I don't think you're doing this on purpose or that you're trying to lie to people. But if that's what you're claiming about me, and that is what you said, is that I lied, that yes, that is what I'm going to take issue with. And I don't understand how you could say that in the DMs you are telling me that I lied when instead you're just telling me that you disagree with me.
It's like lie and mischaracterize. I think Beckett would feel that like when he says that he has always maintained that you should not do this XYZ, that he's told you that. So it's like, how else 2 days ago would you look at that other than like this is a lie? And or mischaracterization. Like at this point, I don't know what even the right answer is to give, because I feel like I'm communicating that. Maybe someone like a fresh pair of eyes, Rezzi's here.
Yeah, I'm reading through it.
Yes,
Yeah.
again, I'm not sure if you're not understanding what I'm saying. So let me, I'll try to be more clear. It sounds like when you're saying this, when you say I lied, as you said, there's like an intention behind this, and that's what you said in chat. In these DMs, I don't feel like you're telling me I am intentionally mischaracterizing these people to mislead others. I don't feel like that's what you're saying. And you're saying that if we go through these DMs,
Sure.
that is your claim in those DMs. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying that I'm communicating that I didn't say those things about Quibin, that I did call JSOC a liar. That I was contesting that anyways. Like that I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, if you're even that claim right there, I'm happy to
you.
go over. Even that claim right there, I'm happy to go over. Because yeah, that I do not believe you say that you didn't say that at any point. So again, want to be clear.
That I didn't say that you mischaracterized what I said?
No, that hold on. My entire thing.
I believe I have the quote in question, Tom.
I'm sorry.
Sent it to you.
1 second. My notepad just completely flipped. Does anybody know how to fix this? It just went backwards. I accidentally pressed a couple of keys. What do you mean? I don't know.
Nope.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I got it. Control Alt. Okay.
Yeah.
So again, we're talking about like intentionality here as to whether or not. So that's different. So we're gonna first talk about. You're saying that you're telling me you didn't say that.
First thing tonight.
Right? Yeah, let's start with that. Sure. Right. Well, let me finish. So you're saying in there that you are telling me that you did not say that. Not that you're saying, if I said that, then XYZ. You're saying in those DMs, you're saying I did not say that. That is your claim, correct?
I don't think that the whole part of us DMing at all was you reaching out because I said, that wasn't me. Like, whoever, the way you brought it up was like, oh, well, that wasn't, like, I don't know who else you want to, like, maybe think who that could have been, but it wasn't me. And you said, as a follow-up, then you say, well, if you want to say that you don't say that, it's like, no. That's the mischaracterization. And I don't think we ever got to it. It's been 3 days. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm being strong-armed a little bit.
Okay,
just like broadly speaking, yeah. Yes. I feel like you're not willing to take the disagreement that we've been having back and forth as disagreement. Yeah.
Okay, again, I don't feel like you actually addressed what it is that I just said, so I just want to repeat this. You are saying that in there you tell me that you did not say that. You're not saying, okay, if I said that, this is what I meant, or that's not how I thought of it at the time, and so if that's what was communicated, that this is what it should have been. You're saying you did tell me that you did not say that. That is your claim. That's what you said in DMs. I'm not getting an answer to this. I'm just trying to clarify this part, because if you're saying I'm trying to say that I don't remember saying it that way, or that's not how I remember it, then I agree with you. That is what you said. You said, I don't remember it this way, and I don't know if I said that. That is what you said.
Yeah. The agreement on if that's what I said, you're saying that's what I said. I don't recall that at all. I would not agree to that. I don't agree to the characterization at that point. Correct.
I've sent both Tom and Svlphur a copy of the DM that I believe is in question within this. Is it okay if I bring this up on stream?
Sure.
I believe this is the one that you're both referencing. I think it'll give us a good position to look at it. Is that okay, Tom?
It is. It's just, again, I don't feel like I'm getting an answer on what it is that the disagreement is. I'm trying to differentiate two different claims, and I've asked this maybe 4 or 5 times. Yes, I'm trying to, because yes, if we're going to go through these, I would like to get the claims first, because I feel like it is often that people say, oh, we disagree on this, and then we go over it, and then their disagreement is different once we've gone over it. So I just do want to understand, because also it could be that we totally agree. That one of the claims that I'm saying here, I've presented 2. One of them I agree with you on. If that's your claim, then I agree. But if it's the other one, then I disagree. And so there's 2 options. I'm asking, are you saying you told me that you did not say this? That's one claim. The other one is you told me that you don't remember it that way, but if you did say that, what you meant was XYZ. Which one of those 2 things is the one that you're saying?
It's a third.
Or is it something different? Okay.
That we go, okay. So your statement was, I have this feeling that Queeman lies. I say, I don't feel that way, have never felt that way, and I would not have said that. I agree with that. Say that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
Okay, so we agree. Great.
Yeah.
You agree, but it seems as if, Tom, you're still characterizing her as saying that you have heard her say that, even though Svlphur is basically saying it would be out of my character to say that in the first place. I believe that's where we're missing here, right?
Yes, but that's not in the DMs. That the DMs don't matter on that point. Yes, I am saying that this is what I remember, and that is what she was saying. She's telling me in DMs now, if I said that, that's not what I meant, and that this is how I meant it. And if that's how she meant it, then that's fine, and I take her at her word, and that's what she meant. But these are, again, a bunch of different things. The one that you're mentioning now, Rezzy, doesn't have to do with the DMs. It's not relevant.
Yeah, I just think that the DM that I'm looking at here, all right, is basically saying that the idea of, if I said those words like Queeman lies, apparent behavior about that one scenario, I can't think of it. If I did the time and asked about Mantis and Abby doing ops and spicy chat, the only time I could imagine when the sex pest thing happened, is the only thing that it does seem that even then she's trying to say, hey, if there is a pathology, I don't believe Queeman lies. So you saying I would say this is illogical from the perspective of my being and my interaction with this.
Yes, and from there, I don't argue with her on whether or not she actually said this.
I understand.
It doesn't happen. So, Yes, that's what
Yeah.
I've said. I
Okay.
feel like
I believe that's
I'm-
Svlphur's main critique of you.
yes,
so.
but I just I'm getting a little frustrated, and I don't mean to like be so like aggressive. So I'm sorry if
You're
I
fine.
if I am getting that way, but I
Understood.
have said that maybe like 7 or 8 times now, is that yes, if the claim is just that she's saying she disagrees that that's how it happened, then I agree with this, because I have said over and over that she said, if that's what I said, that's not what I meant, and that this is what I actually thought. I said that that's what she said over and over.
I think
but she said that I mischaracterized her.
Yeah.
And
So
so
I think that the further statement is that when you will go ahead and make these statements about Queeman being a liar as per like what Svlphur has said and characterize that as a separation, right? And then she goes ahead and says, hey, this is in DMs. I don't think I ever said that. You can't point to proof. She can't point to proof.
Correct.
Svlphur finds some injury to this. So probably is something that you should say, hey, Svlphur didn't say that because we can't actually prove that happened. Because at that point we're down to perception.
Again, this is what I have said. Yes, this is what I have said in this call over and over, is that Svlphur has said that if she said this, that isn't what she meant, because she doesn't think that there is a pathology with Queeman. That was my first statement coming into this call, was that was what she said.
Okay. And then the further note is the Svlphur doesn't believe that she tempts language within chats. If there is any hyperbolicness, it's due to the nature of the chat itself. And the length of it that sometimes doesn't allow her to give the nuance and context to fully elucidate her ideas. I think that's the other disagreement you two had, right?
Maybe I feel like
You're saying that she takes a different tone in private as she does in public, right? Based on the little chat she goes on for the dog pile. And what she's saying is, I have the nuance in private to make longer messages, and in public, I have limited to 200 characters for me to go ahead and spurg out, freak out, etc. Right?
Is that what you're saying?
That was something that was
Svlphur?
discussed earlier in this conversation. Yes, that was her kind of saying, this is why I lack the nuance as I do in private. Because I'm going ahead, I'm not cutting my words on teeth or thinking that it is as serious as a private conversation between two people
like
who are
having to
trying to come to a
litigate.
mutual understanding versus somebody just throwing words into the void.
Okay.
Such as, I guess it would probably be the best analogy would be like some of the Kelly Jean statements that you've made.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Like
so
where
fair
it's
enough.
like
So
you're throwing
real
words
quick,
into the void.
hold on,
right?
because I want to. So, as you said just a little while ago, like you felt mischaracterized by what it was that I said, Svlphur. You felt mischaracterized by what it was that I said you said on stream, and that you felt like I made a statement publicly that doesn't actually align with what you actually believe. And so you were wanting that corrected, that like this is not how you actually feel, and that you have told me after this that is not how you actually feel. I feel like the same here, where if you're saying, okay, me saying these things in chat may not accurately describe what it is that happened with Tom, and me saying that he lied or that he's mischaracterizing me, that these are not like that. If you're saying that the problem is that you don't have enough characters to accurately describe this, then you would also say that this is just inaccurate, and you would amend that statement.
Yeah, I mean,
yes?
she effectively did say that by saying she didn't have enough characters to describe that in this conversation.
Like some
Right.
of it,
Right,
like
but
obviously.
I'm talking about the
and
exact
so that's why I'm
statement.
just. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at the exact statement that's coming from this, what she is ultimately saying is, I didn't have enough characters. She's shit posting, as many of us have done. Svlphur sit. The thing is, we are going ahead and watching her shit post again. Tom, you've done the same thing. These became a core part of everything of you saying, oh, they're jokes.
Correct,
oh,
and I
in
was
chat,
just
oh, it's
asked to
time.
make a blunt
And
statement
it's
about
so-
this. Correct,
Yeah,
and
and
I
you
was
wanna
just
make a
asked to make a blunt
about it,
statement
and-
about this.
yeah.
And so I'm asking the same, is that I would like a
Is
a
you
more
would like
direct
Svlphur
statement,
to
not
make the
something
blunt
that
statement.
generally says this, but yes, I'm asking what is the more blunt statement with the nuance that actually accurately describes what it is you meant to
And
you
Svlphur
want
is
to
saying
communicate.
that blunt statement with the nuance
Well,
is the DM
I really would
that
like
she sent
her to. Yes, but that
Okay.
we're talking about public. Obviously, what I said in public is different than the conversation that her and I had in DMs, and she wanted me to bluntly say in public that it was different. I am asking for the same courtesy that if she's saying, okay, what I said in chat doesn't accurately describe things, I am asking for the same courtesy.
If it's coming off sharper, yeah, well, sure. It maybe in my issue is more on the tone side because I feel like I'm saying the same thing. It's just
I think that we've gotten to like the
okay.
core issue.
No.
where
So
the
that is
conflagration
that is the
for Tom.
disagreement.
Wait, stop. For Tom to be made whole, Svlphur, do you agree that maybe your chats that you have in public chats could have more nuance and don't necessarily reflect the actual feelings that you have with the same vigor and intensity that you have in private?
sure. Like
Okay.
I
Yeah, you should post when
I
you're in
feel
chat
like I'm
like
saying
everybody
that-
else. Yeah.
like,
I'm sorry, but I would like to respond to what was just said a second ago. If you are saying that what you said in chat is being communicated in DMs, my claim is that it is not, and that they are very different things, and that if you're saying in
and she
chat
just
then
that
admitted
I
that they
lied,
are.
characterized and no, well.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Next
Svlphur
claim,
said
if
that
we're
they aren't
strictly
because
on
they
the
have a
first-
fundamental different vehicle of communication. Because one of them is in chat, one of them
correct,
is in
and
private.
I'm asking for
There are
the.
two different.
I understand, Rezzy.
Yes.
Please listen. I understand.
Okay.
You don't have to keep repeating it. I'm asking for the correction, and you keep saying, well, she essentially said the correction. I don't want the essentially. I'm asking, I made the blunt statement that yes, Svlphur was not saying that she lied, and from her perspective, this was not what she meant, and she didn't mean to communicate that, and I buy that wholesale, and that's fine, and I'm not disagreeing with that. I made the blunt statement of this, and I'm asking for the same courtesy that if she is essentially saying, well, he didn't really lie, this is just like a more strict way of saying it because I'm limited on characters, then I would like that corrected. But if she's
Earlier
not, and she's
tonight,
saying I
the
essentially communicated the same thing in DMs, then I think we should go through the DMs because I do not think that that was communicated in DMs at all.
Do you remember what I said specifically in chat tonight that I set all of this up?
I don't, but I think you had the caveat of or mischaracterized. But to me, I would still want that, that blunt statement to say that in DMs, you were not telling me that I lied, that there is no way to read those to say you are telling me that I lied. That is not communicated.
Like, but
again,
I also
hold on. I'm not disagreeing.
I
understand. I'm not disagreeing with the mischaracterized part. I am disagreeing with the lied part. I would like to focus on this for a minute and stop pivoting to the mischaracterized. You did say in chat that Tom lied or mischaracterized, but I want to focus on the lied. And if you're saying that that still accurately communicates the same thing that you said in DMs, I am disagreeing with this. I'm saying you did not at all tell me that you felt like I lied in DMs about these things, about Beckett and them.
These, well, no. I think my issue is that talking for Beckett is one part of it that perhaps like messages yesterday, different kind of tone today. My understanding from Beckett has been that he was under the assumption that you guys were on the same page. So if you're saying it wasn't a lie, maybe everyone is confused, right? Maybe
Beckett can come on argue
and that's
later
something
to argue.
That's something that I can settle with Beckett.
Yeah, Beckett can come on later. I've sent him a message about it. Whatever. Okay, Svlphur, what is the claim? Can we settle this part so we can move to Sunday? Because Sunday would also like to get in here for some reason.
Yeah, so I would just like to repeat that what it is you just said isn't like replying to what it is that I said.
Sorry, wait. That what I said isn't replying to you?
Yeah, that I'm saying that you in DMs did not tell me that you thought that I lied, and that if you're saying, well, I talked to Beckett and this is kind of how I feel now, I that's fine. That's not what I'm disagreeing with. We're talking about whether or not that is what was communicated in DMs, is that you think that I lied about any of these things. I did not get that from any part of the communication in DMs, is that you felt like I was purposefully...
Sure. The characterization of lying, it's gone. Fine.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. All right.
I'm not trying to... I'm not trying to mischaracterize. I'm just...
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
like,
think you
here's the
are.
thing, like,
I just I
okay,
don't
no,
even.
you do. You do,
There's a
otherwise
huge
you wouldn't say it. So, like, let's actually, no, don't fucking mince your words. You do, otherwise we wouldn't have been going over this, like, loop for, like, a
But
while
it's
here.
not
Of,
just
like,
me, it's not just that one claim. So if
okay, I don't
my
care.
claims
That's fine.
about
You have made your claims
there,
about yourself when it
Yeah.
comes to Tom. We resolved that. He has problems with your private versus public character. We resolved that. All right, unresolved or whatever. Right? That it's like, yeah, you use different fucking language. Fine, normal behavior. All right. I'm sorry, we are in a loop. We're not getting
Yeah.
anywhere. Svlphur, do you retract public claims that Tom lied?
yes, that
Okay,
he
cool.
lied about.
Alright.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
All right.
All right,
Thank you.
I'm gonna bring in Sunday.